This kid over here on my left is a relative. He's in the family. And let's hear it for Dave. Yeah, let's hear it for Dave Davies on the guitar. Yes, Mr. Death of a Clown, Dave Davies.
Whenever people contemplate the greatest rock guitarists of all time, a name that doesn't seem to come up often enough is Dave Davies of the Kinks, and I'm not sure why.
And welcome now for that top four with their top hit, You Really Got Me Going, the Kinks.
Girl, you really got me going. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing.
In 1964, the Kinks released You Really Got Me, a song which many point to as a breakthrough moment in the history of rock and roll. Up to that point, the British invasion bands were largely embracing rhythm and blues, rockabilly, and skiffle, but You Really Got Me marked a breakout moment in 1964 with its tattered cone fuzz and vulgar power chords. Many people say its aggressive guitar work and barely controlled anger and frustration made it the song that set the stage for punk and heavy metal. A statement I'm sure that could be made about many of the songs of the 60s, but a compelling one nonetheless. As we trace the Kinks throughout the decades, we can hear Dave getting more and more complex in his riffs, his phrasing, and his solos. His sound also gets more and more potent and muscular as the band embraced ever-expanding production techniques. 1977's Father Christmas and 1981's Destroyer both come to mind.
Presents and I'd be glad. But the last time I played Father Christmas, I stood outside a department store. A gang of kids came over and mugged me and knocked my reindeer to the floor. He said, Father Christmas, give us some money. Don't mess around with those silly toys. We'll beat you up if you don't hand it over. We want your bread, so don't make us annoyed. Give all the toys to the little rich boys. Don't give my brother a steal. Destroy, run to hell. Destroy your friend, destroy yourself. Whenever you reproduction, start confusion, start eruption.
The sheer number of songs with the catchiest of guitar hooks that Dave has recorded is mind-boggling, and yet I never see him included when discussion turns to rock's great guitarists. I think there are two reasons why Dave isn't credited as often as he should be. One is the nature of the Kinks' music itself. It's full of contradictions. It's gentle and it's a gut punch. It's sophisticated wordplay and it's bass emotion. It's political and it's personal. It's old-timey and it's the future. As with the Kinks as a group, it's difficult to nail down Dave's guitar playing. If you hear one note of Hendrix, Page, Clapton, or May, you instantly know who you're listening to. With Dave Davies, his sound and his style is always serving the overall effort, so it's often going to sound very different from song to song. I think Dave captured the eclectic and contradictory nature of the Kinks when he described the 1966 single Dead End Street. He said, "We grew up in a big family with 6 sisters and countless uncles, aunts, and family members. I feel very fortunate that I was born into a family that had so many cultures to it. They didn't have any money, but they had a lot of spirit. There was so much material to draw from. I always liked Dead End Street because I remember when Ray wrote it and we first rehearsed it, it felt like it could have been our last song if that's what history had for us, because I realized it was all we needed to say."
The rent collector's not trying to get in. We are strict second class. We don't
As you listen to Dead End Street, think about the emotions evoked by its use of brass and piano, lilting vocals on the verses, and its jaunty British music hall vibe that are all completely undercut by the abject hopelessness of the lyrics and the proto-punk guttural screams when the chorus hits. Listening to this song, one gets the feeling of watching an entire John Osborne play or Tony Richardson film wrapped up into a 3-minute pop song. The other reason Dave Davies is not heralded as much as he should be, I think, is his brother Ray. As the Kinks' main songwriter, lead singer, and flamboyant frontman, Dave's older brother came to represent the band in most people's minds. His persona was so overpowering that there didn't seem to be room for another star to shine as bright. The conflicts the brothers had while working together are the stuff of legend, but casting aside any notion that Ray may have deliberately hidden his baby brother's light under a bushel, I can see how it would be difficult for Dave as a musician in his own right to rise above Ray's towering shadow. Instead, his brilliant guitar work simply had to stand on its own merit within Ray's revered songwriting. All of this is not to say that Dave Davies is the best guitarist that ever lived, or that it's even useful to compare artists in the first place. But it's just interesting to me that his body of work doesn't seem to elicit the same kind of praise and reverence as a Keith Richards or a George Harrison. Surely he should be right up there with those two. I'm sure there's something I'm missing in this whole question, so I look forward to your insights in the comments. Thanks for watching Strange Device.